That workshop was interesting, learning about the difference between assessment of learning and the assessment for learning.
Yes, assessment of student learning plays an important role in instruction. Now we know that assessment does not signal the end of instruction. It's an integral part of instruction, while knowing whether the students have learned what you intended for them to learn is important. That is assessment for learning. I now know that a crucial element of teaching is to assess students for the purpose of instruction. I need to have my finger on the pulse of the lesson.
So, that is assessment for learning?
Yes, and while the teacher's actions may look like monitoring student behavior, the purpose is quite different.
I listen carefully to questions being asked, read students' work, as well as listen in on group discussions. This way I can gauge my teaching. I know whether additional teaching is necessary in order for students to grasp the content.
So let me get this correct. Teacher observation, exit slips, and questioning are all tools used in Domain 3D. Using assessment in instruction.
Yes, and remember the elements for this component are assessment criteria, monitoring student learning, feedback to students, and student self-assessment and monitoring progress.
Part of school is learning to own your work and being responsible for your achievement. This is student self-monitoring.
Observers look for the teacher paying close attention to evidence of students' understanding. They will also be listening for the teacher posing specifically created questions to elicit evidence of student understanding.
They may observe the teacher circulating to monitor student learning, and to offer clarification and other feedback.
Lastly, the observer is looking for students to assess their own work against the established criteria, for example using a rubric.
Thanks everyone. I feel much better about Domain 3D. Using assessment in instruction. I have always done many of these strategies, I just did not know what it was called.